Hello, I am Cice Rivera, and today I'd like to focus on depressive behaviors. Now, depression is an emotion that affects us at one point in our lives. And depression typically begins when a person's life is on an extreme emotional, painful roller coaster. It typically becomes a dangerous condition when the person feels an escape to external substances. For example, drugs or alcohol abuse, or the person has a drastic, frantic, depressive, suicidal psychosis relation to unresolved conflicts. So in this case, the individual is depressed and is unable to make rational decisions in their life or during a difficult circumstance that they believe is beyond their control. And therefore, depression becomes worse. The symptoms of anxiety and boredom set in. And for example, in anxiety, it's a fight mechanism that it results from the depression, because now the person feels that they're on a fight or flight response, and the individual develops anxiety as well. So this is an emotional conflict that causes repression and suppression. So the person becomes angry, guilty, and has feelings of boredom, and it basically takes over the person's life. And the person experiences the depression and the symptoms of depression, and they're blocking their channeling their chakras, their healing powers, sort of say. So during a depressive episode, the person's subconscious mind is basically attempting to let go of negative emotions and conditions. But the person typically is not aware and does not interpret the information properly, and they become depressed. And this suppresses the memory of the person. For example, in a dream, if the person is having a dream and the person has anxiety and is driven by anxieties and stress, then the person will basically suppress the memories of the dream. So this depression is a state of hypersensitivity, and the individual is overwhelmed by the demands of life. And in order to help the depression, the person needs to remove the unresolved conflicts by finding a solution and being able to handle their emotional state. Sometimes venting out, crying, talking to a friend or a therapist helps the person feel better and handle their emotions in a more productive way, instead of turning towards substances such as drugs or alcohol abuse. And therapy usually is a very effective tool for the person to remove all these inner conflicts that they're having during a difficult time. So the depression and the behaviors will subside, and the person will change their patterns. Because typically, when a person is feeling emotionally depressed, they tend to keep to themselves and not talk about the situation. And in this regard, some people end up being so depressed that they feel suicidal, have suicidal ideations, thoughts, or attempt suicide. And literally, the depression runs their life. And these signals and symptoms need to be addressed immediately so that the person does not feel overwhelmed with their emotions, and this can increase the chance of dealing with the depressive behaviors. And this would help deliver a message of the negative feelings to the person so that they can start to comprehend how to manage their lives in order to enhance their positive feelings in their lives. And therefore, the depression or the suicidal thoughts or attempts will subside. And the person will establish short-term goals and objectives and develop a direction to eliminate the depression and anxiety altogether, handling their problems. Love and healing.